job to do. Explore Sveaborg Fortress. So welcome everybody to Igor in Russia Sveaborg series. So in this series I'm focusing on the island's Russian era, which lasts from 1808 until 1918. We're gonna go through Iso Mustasaari island part, all the Russian garrisons buildings, historically Russian buildings. Before we continue, remember to subscribe, give me a like, leave a comment and share the videos. I appreciate it a lot. Let's go. During the Russia era, the buildings were dominated by the army. The Russian merchants' quarter, school for poor children, and army barracks were built in the 1860s. And after the bombardment of the Crimean War, the administration of the fortress was centralized on this part of the island, Iso Mustasaari. Remember to check out my other videos about the Sveaborg fortresses, different locations and different islands. Click in the description and you can check it out as a playlist. But let's continue. We are right in the center of old Helsinki, which is surrounded by the historically Russian locations. Behind me, a stone of the Empress, Uspensky Cathedral, Emperor's Palace, and loads of historically Russian streets. Alright, didn't make it. So finally here we are. Right after arriving by ferry to the island, the Pink Jerry Barracks, that was the main entrance to Viapori during this Russian era. It was designed to accommodate 250 soldiers in peacetime. Currently, these rooms are occupied by different cafes and restaurants. And it seems also as a drugstore. One part of the building was used as the main guardhouse with the detention rooms, rooms for prisoners as well as rooms for guards and officers on duty. A lot of tourists. This is one of the main tourist attractions throughout the year. During the summertime, this is a terrace for a restaurant. Nice. Moro, mä luettaa kiinni. Myyttekö te ihan safkaa?
Kyllä joo.
Mesta alkaa olla kiinni.
Joo, tuolla on tää päässä käytetty.
Let's choose an orthodox road. So we are now behind the jetty barracks. And you don't see anybody walking here typically. And behind me is a house called Lavrentyev's house. Lavrentyev's house. Alexander Ivanovich Lavrentyov was a master painter and plaster. He built his house for his large family. He was granted permission to build this house because he used to live here and work here for 20 years. This building here was built between 1908 and 1909. And it was a primary school for poor children and built by a Russian charity organization originally. It was built because the Russian population was worried about preserving the Russian heritage on the island amongst the families. And that's something I know about a lot as a Russian person living in Finland all my life. Currently this building is a hostel, so that's a pretty cool accommodation if you decide to come to Helsinki. There you can see some beds inside. We're at the corner of Russian merchants' quarter. We're gonna start off with the Semenov's family bakery. Semenov's family building. It was built in 1866 and it was owned by Semyonov, who was a sutler and supplied military with typical provisions of bakery goods, meat and salt. And here's the Semenov's family bakery, built originally in 1888. After Semyonov went bankrupt in 1905, Andrian Kozlov bought this building. Andrian Kozlov sold the house to his brother, Nikon Mikhailovich Kozlov, and the Semyonovs moved to their own family bakery in 1905. Let's take a walk in this merchant quarter. This is really nice. So the families of these merchants lived in this quarter, providing the army with supplies. Here lived also the most famous Russian merchant, Sinebryukov, company, the company of Siniebrikov, is still one of the main companies, for example, in the beverage business. And near in the Russian merchant Galachkin's house. Nikanor Galachkin was a sutler supplying provisions to the military also. And he bought the house on the I Iso Mustasaari island in 1847. Continuing on, the next house is a Russian merchant's house, Nedanoskov's house, which is currently a residential building and also a cafe. Ivan Petrovich Nedanoskov's building. Get inside and grab a coffee. Kahvi messiin.
Joo. Maidolo.
Joo, magee chanssi päästä
Maidolo.
joo, venäläiskauppiaiden taloihin.
Kuitteos.
Oh, finally got the coffee. Moving on. The merchant house across the street from Alexander Nevsky's church. Church served actually also the merchants and the families. All people on the island, not just the military. Check out the video about the Alexander Nevsky's church on the Sveborg Island, link listed below. All right, so behind me is the officer's house. Main facade and the floor plan have been preserved mostly unchanged. Top floor housed the actual club rooms, ballroom, billiard room, gaming rooms and 2 libraries. Of the middle floor housed classrooms for boys and girls. The school was intended for the children of the lower ranks. Next to the officer's house, there's 2 historically Russian buildings next to it. And we're gonna check them out next. This building here was built as a storeroom for provisions in 1876. Nowadays the house is of course a residential building. There's also another building. This building was built in 1912 for army supplies. So now we are approaching Vasilyev's villa, which is currently Suomenlinna's toy museum. In 1913, Vasilyev sold the house to Alexander Nedonoskov, who had a shop at the merchants' quarters. This is one of the many buildings that you actually pass by without watching while trying to enter the main tourist attraction. This building currently is a customs building. But it used to be a telegraph and telephone station that was built in 1905. The building was topped by a brick tower with metal railings to support telephone cables, leads and receivers. And next to the telegraph and telephone station is a telegraph office station. It was built between 1906 and 1910 as officers' residence and the office of military telegraph. The manege was designed in 1878, I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, by Grafen, same architect that was behind the first jetty barracks I showed you. There are no details of its use. There was gymnastic equipment at the end of the hall. It was used by at least Sveborg Fortress Artillery, 93rd Irkutsk Infantry Regiments and 94th Yenisei Infantry Regiment. We're not gonna go inside this time around, but next time maybe. Let's continue our journey. The manege, we can find the artillery manege. It was built in 1903 to 1904. There it is. This is also a war museum. Checking out some papers. There you go. Behind this artillery manege is a Russian barracks building. The one on my left side is formed the garrison area, built in 1839 to 1840. This one here is an artillery barracks, which currently is a residential area. This barrack building was for rank and file soldiers who had families, and it's a 3-story building which had 24 rooms, 2 staircases and 2 private towers. After the completion in 1854, the building was altered into barracks for unmarried soldiers, and bunks and lockers for 1,180 soldiers were built. This move was part of the strategy of increasing the strength of the entire garrison under the threat of war. And that's a yard. I guess we could have a small beer. It is Saturday. Missä kiitos. Hyvä.
Suomenlinna paljon tuohon.
And that's a view. And we are drinking now Kof, which is Sinebrikov's trademark. So Sinebrikov's first alcohol beverages were created in Sveaborg. Thanks guys for watching. Remember to subscribe, leave a like, comment, share the videos. There's more Russian Finland episodes coming up, so keep on watching. See you guys again. Bye. And people been asking me, why don't you vlog in Russian or Finnish? But there's no problem. Kiitti kun jaksoit tulla videon loppuun. Подписывайтесь, давайте like. Nähdään taas pian. Bye.